Let's see if it moves. Just took the brake off. Okay, so it's got a brake safety switch malfunction. When I take my brake off of there, it wants to stall the engine. That's weird. So I thought the issue was because my seat safety switch wasn't connected. Remember, I swapped the seat out with this one yesterday, and this one doesn't have a seat safety switch, so this was just hanging. So I thought that was the reason. So I bypassed it by putting this thing here. And basically it's mimicking the fact that it's attached, right? So I'm going to try it now and we'll see if it lets me move forward and backward. So it doesn't let me do it. So it's really not this. It's something else. I think I might have to bypass the all the safety switches. We're gonna do that. So I've done a bunch of videos on how to bypass your safety switches, and it's really very easy. But I don't know, some people just don't seem to get it, you know. So I'm gonna do it like a 3-year-old. All right. So here is the wiring harness. Right. I'm gonna pop out the ignition switch. Just like that. On the back of the ignition switch, right? There's labeling on it, right? Letters for the tabs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs, all right? If you look carefully, I don't know if you can see it because these GoPro cameras aren't able to focus really close, you know? Anyway, if you look on the very top, L, G is over here, ground. S is this one right here. This tab right here is S. S is for starter or solenoid. M, Magneto. B, this is battery. A2 is accessory 2. It's like for lights or accessories. A1 is, you know, for something else too, like maybe your fuel solenoid or something like that. The top one is for the stock light wiring harness. So we know that S is here for the solenoid. If you took a wire from here straight to the trigger of your solenoid, it bypasses all the safety switches and your engine will start no matter what happens, which is why they have safety switches, you know, it's for safety. But in instances like this where you just want to get the tractor running, you know what I mean? You want to see that because this is S, you match it up to this, right? As if it was connected, right? And you'll see that the white wire, this white wire here, is the solenoid. Okay? I'm just going to show you. Super easy. I'm going to cut this. You're going to do what? That's right. I'm going to cut it. I want to cut it right here because I want to give myself as much room as possible, as much white wire as possible. I'm just cutting the white wire from the harness.
Are you crazy, Henry?
Yes, there he is. See? There's the white wire off the harness. I'm going to strip it. And then I'm going to remove this. I don't have to, but I'm going to remove it just to show you guys. This way you guys can see better. It's got gas in it, a lot of it, so I'm just gonna leave it there. All right. Got you on my magnetic holder, and as you guys could see, this is a 4-post solenoid, okay? 4 posts, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 connections on this 4-post solenoid, okay? One's always gonna be ground, which is obviously this black wire here, going to here, okay? This one here, the red one, this cable leads to the back of the positive terminal of your battery. It goes and stops right there. This connection goes straight to your starter, okay? What happens is you send 12 volts to this trigger wire right here, this white wire, right? This is what they call the 12 volt trigger to the solenoid, okay? This wire right here, from your ignition switch, when you turn the key to start, it sends 12 volts to this solenoid, this 4-post solenoid. Inside the solenoid, a plunger moves up from an electric charge and makes the connection between this post and that post. And now you're creating a closed circuit that drives 12 volts of electricity from the battery straight to your starter, and that's what starts your engine, okay? So basically, this white wire goes through a whole bunch of spaghetti, right? Remove it off the tab. A whole slew of spaghetti that goes all throughout the safety switches. I could see by pulling this white wire that it's right here, okay? I want as much wire as possible, so that's why I'm pulling it. Ooh, there's 2 white wires, see? So you want to pull the right one. I'm going to pull this and see if it pulls my wire. And it does not. So I'm going to pull this white wire, see if it pulls mine. It does. So this is the white wire that I want to cut. Right there. I want to give myself as much room as possible. So here we go. I'm going to cut this white wire.
You're gonna do what?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to cut it. Okay, so here's the cut wire. And here's the cut wire, right? Guess what I'm going to do? I don't even need my own wire because I've pulled enough slack that I could use the existing wire. So basically, here it is. I'm just going to connect the wire from the harness to the ignition switch, the white one, and connect it to the white one that's attached, that was supposed to be attached to the 4-post solenoid. Okay? And now, you see what I'm saying? So now you're taking the 12 volt charge from the ignition switch, right? Straight to your tab. You're going to just connect this tab again. Okay? There you go. And now your engine will start no matter what. And that's how you do a full bypass on your lawn tractor. How easy was that? If you guys can't understand that, man, I don't know what else I could do. I'm gonna button those wires up, put the gas tank back on, and give her a try. And just put black tape over that connection, and putting the ignition switch back in, putting the harness back onto the ignition switch, taking the gas tank, putting it back on here. Okay, without even cutting, here we go. I'm going to start it and see if it moves backwards and forwards. Well, how about that? It didn't work. I gotta think about this for a second. Okay, so now I figured it out. I had another couple of tractors that I had the same issue with. So the circuit, it wasn't so much the solenoid starting issue. We always were able to start it. It's if you didn't get, if you weren't able to start your machine due to the safety switches, you would do that solenoid bypass. But our issue here is that the engine cuts off because of the safety switches. So we're not doing a solenoid bypass or the safety switch bypass. We're not doing a safety switch bypass for the Magneto, okay? That's what's shutting off the engine. So that's where my confusion was. So here's the black wire that leads to the Magneto. It goes into this harness and leads to this black wire here into the ignition harness, all right? Since it goes into 1,000 bunches of spaghetti, I have no idea where it goes to, right? I'm just going to cut it right here. This is the most I can get out of it, all right? So that's the Magneto. We're going to now find the Magneto one on this wiring harness again. And by looking, I remember that the Magneto was on the bottom there. Let me see. There it is. Okay, so this is matched up here. That's the Magneto one, and it leads to this double black wire. The double black wire leads to several safety switches, all right? So I'm just gonna cut them both.
You're gonna do what?
That's right, I'm gonna cut them both. Don't be afraid, okay? It's just wires. You ready? These are the two wires. These are the two wires that are coming out of the Magneto tab of the ignition switch. Boom! Just cut it. Okay? I'm gonna strip these.
Henry, why don't you use wire strippers?
Well, because I'm standing right here and I don't want to walk away from the camera. I'm putting both these together. And will this be able to? Yes, it will be able to. All right, see? So now I just bypassed the safety switches for my Magneto. So now it should only cut off the engine when I want it to, which is by turning the ignition switch. Okay, let's try it again. Uh-oh. Oh, duh! Well, you do have to attach the wiring harness. Here, wiring harness needs to be attached. Oh, it's not giving me any slack, see? So now I have to extend this wire. So I'll be right back. I'm going to extend the wire about 5 inches. So I've just added this. I guess I went overboard. It's a 2-foot line here, see? So it's not connected to this and that. I'm going to put the wiring harness back on again. Attach it to the ignition switch. And now it should shut off when I want it to by the keys. Make sure it's not touching any metal. Alright, let's try it again. It should start and stop when I want it to, regardless of the brake, the seat, or the PTO clutch. It's not, now it's like not having any safety switches. There we go. As you guys just saw what I just did, we just bypassed all the safety switches by doing straight wires straight from the ignition switch to the Magneto and the trigger tab of the solenoid. So now it's as if this thing never came with safety switches. So now this will start when you want it to, and it'll stop when you want it to. And as you guys saw, the freewheel engagement lever was in the back and it wasn't engaged. I just tried it and it moves forward and backwards.